before we get into questions, I want to talk about one more topic.
Go on.
Which was, oh shit, I think I fucking lost it. Oh yeah, okay. So Dana White, I guess he is at odds with Steven Espinoza from Showtime.
Oh, from Showtime.
About the Conor McGregor pay-per-view numbers.
I saw a little bit of this. Basically, himself, Dana, that is, and Conor are claiming it was the #1 pay-per-view event ever. And of course, Espinoza, Showtime boss, came back and said, no, it was second. It did fantastically well, but it was second. I think that's the basic gist of it. Is that correct?
Yeah, I guess they were saying it did 6 point. Dana White and Conor and everyone were saying that it did 6.7 pay-per-view million buys, or million pay-per-view buys, which is the highest ever. And then Showtime reported officially that it's 4.3 million in a recent press release. Now, here's the deal, right? And this is the point that Steven Espinoza made, because he was on SiriusXM, our old stomping ground, and he basically was like, look, it's fine. You can promote however you want to promote, and Dana White does what he does, and fucking fine, more power to him. But we have millions of shareholders at Showtime. We can't put out something that isn't fucking, vetted the right way. We look at the numbers a certain way, we analyze them a certain way, and we have to be consistent, because that's the law. It's a different thing when you have a private company like the UFC. You can really just say whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't actually matter. So weirdly, he's implying that Dana White might be blowing up other or exaggerating other numbers and other facts and figures as well.
Well, that's for him to imply, not for me to imply.
Yeah, well, I extracted that anyway. But he also went on to say that he would continue to work with Dana White. He's like, look, Dana White, I don't have to like a guy. He was like, we'll continue to promote together, and, or I'll continue to promote with him if he wants to come into the boxing business and work with us. So, and we've seen this with Dana White before, where he fucking blows up guys like Tito Ortiz. He hates them, and then all of a sudden he's able to make it work. So that's the name of the game in business.
I think at the end of the day, when there's as much money on the table as what we're discussing here, personal relationships, they go to one side, and for the greater good and the massive pile of cash that's potentially on the table. It doesn't matter if you like the guy, hate the guy, whatever. It's business at the end of the day. I think it's very simple. If they're unsure about the numbers, then they have a right to audit the event. Simple as that. Just like in the UFC. Any fighter that is on a cut of the pay-per-view, you can audit the UFC. You can audit, to UFC 217, for example. Not that I want to, because obviously you got to pay those people, and I have no reason to disbelieve what I'm being told. And I don't think it would be in the UFC's, best interest to be lying on events. So, it's not good. But if they want to do that, I'm sure they have a right in their contract. Oh, of course they have a right. They can't stop you. Get the accountants involved and audit the event. And I'm sure they'll get to the bottom of it pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, you're kind of right there. Like, there's no reason for Dana White to say the pay-per-view numbers are more, because the guys who are headlining the pay-per-views get paid out a pretty hefty bonus on that. So that is them just handing away money, giving away money for no reason.
Yes and no. I think maybe I think they want the cachet and the bonus and the kudos of Conor being involved in the #1 pay-per-view event of all time. So I think that does wonders for promotion from Conor's standpoint. Of course, who wouldn't want to claim that? #2 is still fantastic, but being #1, that's incredible. But still, listen, they can talk about it all day. It's pretty simple. If you don't take their word for it, send the accountants in, and it'll get dealt with pretty quick.
All right. All right. Let's get some questions done. Very excited once again, guys, to start the video podcast. Hopefully next week. At the very least, we're going to get one. You know what? I'm going to tell you right now. Here's what I'm going to tell you.
No, we can do it next week. If you come out in time, Lewis, because I'll be there. When am I leaving town? I'm not sure. Wednesday. So, if you come Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whenever it is, I'll be here. Tell me what I need in advance. I'm going to go down to Best Buy, buy all the necessary
You don't have to buy anything. We're going to buy everything. Relax. We got it.
No, but I'm going to buy some extra shit as well. You know what I mean? I need to buy a desk, for example, to put said items on. I want to buy an iMac desktop computer so that I have, it's going to be all singing, all dancing. If this thing's going to go on the fucking airwaves, Lewis, I can't be in the shittiest office known to man, and you're there, set up your gas digital, you've got all your bloody memorabilia and your objet d'art all over the walls, but there's little Michael Bisping in his fucking sweaty gym clothes and a fucking, an empty pen holder or something next to a crappy fucking shitty 1980s computer. Okay, I need to make this shit look good, Lewis. So tell me what I need.
He's got a dog with one eye sitting on your lap. You're like an evil, like a Bond villain.
Jesus Christ. It's not even a joke, and the owner's got one eye as well, so we're both fucked.
Yeah, you really are. It's like a fucking villain from an 80s movie.
Oh my god. So yeah, anyway, all right, listen. First question, let's go.
All right, well, here's the thing. If you want to join the conversation, you guys can do so by shooting us an email, bym@gasdigitalnetwork.com. bym@gasdigitalnetwork.com. We always pick a few questions every single week, so make sure you guys fucking join the conversation. First question, Mike. This is Keith.
Yeah.
This is from Keith from Michigan. He wants to know, big fan, guys. After Mike retires, have you guys considered doing a fight companion style podcast where you watch the fights live and talk about what you're watching? Michael Bisping.
Yes.
Can I?
Let's copy Brendan Sharp's idea. Do it over Skype. Can't have chemistry over Skype, but we'll steal his idea and we'll have chemistry whilst doing it. Lewis, go ahead.
Well, that's exactly my point. It's also not even Sharp. That's Rogan does Fight Companion.
Yeah.
And
still, it's a good idea because I would like to do that on occasion. So maybe we will. We won't steal it, but we'll put our own twist. We won't call it Fight Companion. We'll call it Fight Friend.
Look, a rose by any other color. A rose by any other color, Michael Bisping. We're not stealing their idea. We have to do something completely unique.
Okay, so what do you recommend?
I don't know. We got to figure it out. We can do something during the fights. Maybe a post-show or a pre-show makes more sense.
Yeah.
Or maybe we come on only between the fights.
I think what I'm going to do is sometimes I have Jason Perillo come over to my house and kind of do,
And you guys will copy Joe Rogan's idea.
You can call it whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to do a podcast with you on the other end, with Jason Perillo here, while we get drunk and watch fights. Now, if you want to call it Fight Companion, go ahead. But I'm not saying the words Fight Companion. I'm just calling it a podcast while I watch the fights and drink beers.
We're going to call it.
What else you could call it? But Fight Companion fits. But I'm not stealing Joe Rogan's idea.
Michael Bisping's Bite Bunbanian. There we go. I like it.
Oh my God. Yeah.
All right.
Do we have an actual question?
Bite Companion makes sense because we are biting off of Rogan.
Yeah. Who was that? Keith from Michigan?
Yeah, that was Keith.
Michigan. Detroit?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you just said Michigan.
Huh? Never been to Detroit. Kind of want to go sometime. Want to see what it's all about.
It's really ghetto and dangerous. Don't do it.
I know. That appeals to me for some weird reason. Yeah, he kind of bothered me the way he retired. Yeah. Nate Marquardt bothers me. I've got to throw it out there. He gets on my tits. You know why?
What did he do? What did he say about you?
No, well, this is where it started. You're very smart, Lewis. Back in the day, he said that I'm not good for the sport. He said that I am a black mark on the sport and I bring the sport into disrepute. This is a guy that's tested positive for steroids many times, But yeah, I'm the one that brings the sport into disrepute. Now, he lost a few fights, and the thing that kind of irks me is that every time he loses his fight, rather than being a man and saying, okay, it wasn't my night, better man beat me on the night, whatever it is, he blames it on God. He said, it wasn't God's plan for me tonight. Obviously, God wants to teach me a lesson. There's no accountability. Just blame it on God. It's fine. God said I had to lose this fight because I had to learn something. And
if you're religious, you'd believe that, with everything, every time it rains.
The arrogance of the guy. You know what I mean? And then now he's retired because he can't win a fight. And
he needs to start praying harder then.
God needs to tell him what he's doing next with his life. God has told him that his fighting days are over and he's now needed in a much, much more higher level. So anyway, whatever.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you, Mike. He's got Jesus and God at his corner.
Jesus and Ngannou.
No, I said Jesus and God in his corner.
Like Jesus and Ngannou. Holy fuck.
The toughest man on earth.
Gigantic Jesus from Africa.
Half Jesus, half Ngannou. He's Jesus Ngannou. He turns water. He turns water into